Blake, this film in a world is set in the egotistical world of voiceovers.
Yes.
What was the inspiration for that? Have you met a few egos in the voiceover world?
I think, I've met a bunch of egos in a myriad of different, industries. So I think, I never like to think of the movie as just a voiceover movie, because at the end of the day, it is about interpersonal relationships and about the neuroses that we deal with when we have insecurities about succeeding in any métier. So I think, I hope that it is relatable in that way, because I'm not, a star voiceover artist, and I felt very connected to this story. I did love the idea of the voiceover industry being this umbrella to tell the story, because it does offer a cacophony of really hilarious personalities and characters and sounds, and so I think I was attracted to that aspect of it, and I just happen to be obsessed with voice. So,
and your character, obviously, like yourself, has a real facility for accents and imitation, things like that. When did you realise yourself that you had that facility?
I mean, ever since I was a little girl, I have been doing voices. I was a precocious, annoying, aspiring actress when I was a little girl, where my mom was very soft-spoken. And she just thought, where did you come from? You're an alien. Because I would go up to people just as a small person and just be like, try to imitate them or mimic them. I mean, it was, just socially not, I would try to be nice about it, but I was just obsessed with accents. And to the point where, when you travel as an unaccompanied minor, my parents were divorced and lived in different states, and I would go every other weekend on the plane to New York. And I would get buddy-buddy with the stewardesses at like 13 so that I could get, or even like 11, so I could do the security announcement. Like, they would let me do it because it was a cool voiceover. Like, I could pretend to be someone else, like a big fancy adult or something. So I'd be like, hi, and welcome to Atlanta service 2762, So I was even doing that then, so.
So what is your favourite voice of all time? If you could do just one voice, what would it be?
I think my favorite dialect is probably like Southeast London. I went to college here, so I have an affection for, do you know what I mean? I like that a lot. But then I would say the most beautiful voice that ever lived was Don LaFontaine, who has since passed away, and he's a main reason why I wanted to dedicate this movie to him in a way.
Now, you mentioned there's so many big personalities and characters in the film, aren't there? And Ken Marino plays one in particular.
Yes.
And you have a little bit of a, shall I say, awkward moment with him and your nose, don't you? What was it like shooting that?
I remember like talking about the nose moment because I want you to be surprised. No, Ken Marino is a really dear friend of mine. So that particular moment, he makes out with my nose. He French kisses it, yes. And when we shot that, it was very serious. We wanted to take it very seriously. And he initially asked if he could do that, and it was so funny. I couldn't. I had to be like. It was so hard to not laugh. That was one of those times. And then I said, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to do it twice. You're gonna have to do it twice. So it's my fault.
Now, have you found it as your first film as a director, a writer, and you're acting in it as well, co-producing it? How's it been?
I think it's been busy. I think when you wear that many hats, you kind of know what you're in for. I think you would be a maniac if you thought it was going to be easy. So I think as long as you know that it's difficult as you're going into it and you prepare accordingly, I think then, you're set to maybe have a good time doing it. I certainly had a great time. It suited my personality. I like to multitask.
And this vocal virus that's in the film, this sexy baby voice,
Yeah.
Why do you think it's become so rampant? Where's it come from?
I mean, I think the vocal virus, the pandemic that is the sexy baby voice that comes heavily from America but then has seeped into other countries is, I think it's cultural. I think we've always had vocal trends, within certain social groups, but also, for instance, back in the day, when Marilyn Monroe was the it girl, and she just talked breathy. Well, then all the it girls decided to talk that way. So vocal trends are interesting, and they're totally social. It's totally it has to do with with media and what's around you, So Of course, I could point fingers at a myriad of reality shows that have led us to that path, but the movie does that anyway. So,
What do you think will be after the sexy baby voice, and what's next for you after this film?
I don't know what the next vocal trend is. I hope to change a lot of girls with this film. I hope I inspire them to shed, because these are smart. I mean, the majority of the people who are infected with the anyway, so I was saying, I think you're really nice. That is not acceptable. And these people might be smart people, but they are making themselves look stupid. Okay, I said it. And then next up, I'm doing a movie. I'm an actor for hire on another movie, and I'm writing my next feature. So that's really fun.